Morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Today, I am just going to finish up this November book and sketch out the lines in pencil, talk a little bit. I may or may not fill in everything. I may or may not jump about from this book to another book. I may or may not have a point to any of my sentences or finish them even. I may or may not be interesting even. I don't know. All I know is it's Thursday, November 20th, and I have a very, very, very temperamental voice box right now, and even on antibiotics, I hit the grand, lovely temperature of 101.9, which is oh so sweet. We're going to celebrate that with a whole lot of water. Please join me with your coffees and your prayers, or if not your prayers, you're holding me in your heart. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had a private message asking me if I'd done a COVID test. I have never had COVID, for the record. Oh, and by the way, I was completely, I took it right. I mean, I didn't take it. I try not to take things negatively, you guys. So I answered this lady very sweetly and thanked her and said, yeah, that was one of the very first things I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I told her I took a COVID test, and she informed me there's something called long COVID, and that test doesn't apply to long COVID. Yep, I know that too. That was one of the first things when see where I live, you have to call 611, which is oh, I need apple juice, you guys. One moment, I'm gonna pause you. The great thing about the pause button is that, did I lose my pencil? No, thank God. Oh yeah, the great thing about the pause button is that it's literally seconds for you guys, even though I'm moving like I'm 95 years old. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am completely using Monique's layout here for this is my finances, this is my tracker. I'm doing it in pencil, it's the only difference. This is my weekly log. So for my weekly log, I have to go back, and I'm going to switch things around a little bit. So I'm going to go back to, let's see if it's in this one. Oh my gosh, you guys, bending anywhere, leaning anywhere is just like, oh. So I got this bag from, I want to say Hubman and Chub Girl, because I got a lot from them. This is my Christmas book again. I'm simply using it for reference, you guys. So anyway, this woman was saying, yeah, she said that the test that you get off the shelves doesn't test for COVID anymore. You have to do another type of test. And I told her here in Canada, we There we go. That's the one I want to do, minus that. I'm just going to put that on my lap so I can use that. And this was the, so December won't be here. I'll cover that up with a sticker or something. I'm just looking to see if I have one handy. I do. Let's see. I told her, okay, let me try to finish the sentence. Which is hard to do, you guys. I'm really sorry. Bubble gum. There. Why not? So, because August and then November is up here on the side. So I said, our policy here in Canada is that if you think you have anything that might put anybody at risk, including going to hospital, which, by the way, is an offense. It's a law-breaking offense as of, oh, when did they bring out that bill? C-238. They slipped it under the wire 2 years ago. It's also the same bill that they use that if I have a house and there's equity on the house, I no longer get my benefits from Veterans Affairs because they want us to eat our equity up from the house. And it was all in one bill. I don't understand why in one bill there are, like, I think there was 11 different things. Because a bill should have one. But my personal opinion, I'm a Canadian. I fought for my country. I fought for people to have a right to say what they wanted to say. So getting back to long COVID and procedures on medical issues and what's going on with my body and why I'm still at home and not in hospital, because she was quite concerned. I mean, that was the whole point. She was really, really concerned for me, and I thought that was super sweet. And I told her, I said, okay, so it's very expensive to go to the hospital, and we're at max capacity. We don't have, I live on an island, we don't have unlimited beds here at all. We're very short, and we're very boomer heavy, or Gen X heavy. But even that, like the younger children meaning younger than me, are also getting sick with things that are unexplained at the moment, such as meningitis is huge right now. Huge. HIV has made a comeback. Saskatchewan is the worst in the Indigenous culture right now. It's just massive. So you have to phone 611, just like if it was 911, we can't phone that. We have to phone the non-emergency line. So there's all sorts of different rules. That looks nice, hey? Bubblegum. I'm not looking into it, what bubblegum even means. I'm just like, I remember the Hubba Bubba. Huh? So let's go back to where I was. This is the November book. I'm finishing this up before the December book, which I'm going to make out of a B6 Stalogy that I ordered as a B6 Stalogy because it just happened to be on Amazon Prime Days for, I want to say $12, you guys, which is, you don't ever see that. Normally it's $30. So even though I could have cut down a book, why? Like, it was already like cheap. So I'm just doing the lines. So yeah, I told her, I said, we have policies in place. We have to follow them. Here's the trackers. And here's the weekly log. Okay, I want to first look at, and I love how the Stalogy, do you see that? You can fold it. Same with Tomoe River paper. You can fold it. Oh, and by the way, stay tuned, because I had a really good cry yesterday, you guys, and I'm going to tell you why. And I feel a bit like a hypocrite because I sit here and I tell you guys, don't let anybody XYZ to you guys. Don't feel less than XYZ. And then what do? I have a meltdown because something happened to me that I didn't expect, and I wasn't feeling well. And because I wasn't feeling well, and because going out for me is hard, was it yesterday or the day before? It might have been the day before. After I did that video. Did I even put up a video yesterday? I don't even know, you guys. Time is just, I can't catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're sick, you just can't catch it. And even when I'm not sick, like I can't catch it. Maybe that's because I'm sick mentally. I don't know. But okay, let's look at my weekly here. So I've got up here, this is like Peanuts Planner Co. She's got a Facebook page. Okay, and I've worked on the bottom half to be different from hers. Okay, so here I've got exercise, I've got habits. I don't like the sleep tracker because it's horizontal or vertical, not horizontal. I have my mood tracker. I've got my ADHD word, which this is helpful for me because I was embarrassed here. So then I know that I've journaled about that. The word of the week is humbled. So that was embarrassed was the situation. Humbled was a result. So that's the learning. And then over here, I've got my sleep. I rated my week and energy level. So I really like that. Now in this one, let's just go and see what the closest one is. Okay, so I have the same sort of Peanuts Planner Co. I just want to make sure you guys can see everything. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, my body is just, if I'm moaning, I apologize. So this is a standard. The other book was a B6. So that is clearly the difference in height. See? Okay. So again, up here, and I'm freezing and I put the heat on, you guys, but I turned it down last night because I slept on my lounger downstairs. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Whenever I'm sick, I sleep on my lounger, and yet it doesn't make sense. And I think it's because if I lay in my bed, like I can't move, my body like locks up. So I have the same thing up here, and then I have my daily routine. So instead of having my habits, I call them daily routine, exercise. This tells me what I need to do to parent my younger self that forgets these things. This is my sleep, which I have here, my steps, which I have I don't even have, oh, here I have exercise, walking, and yoga. I also have a rebounder, but I've been asked not to go on it by my doctor right now. So I do have the mood tracker instead of to do and to buy. So I've taken to do and to buy right out. And again, sirens. Hang on a second. So I tried to pause it, hoping the sirens would go away. Obviously, you can hear them. This is my life, you guys, day and night. And sorry, I wish I could ignore them. But I'm on a major thoroughfare of the, I don't know. Okay, so let's go back to this. So I did one for finances. Let's watch through it. Okay, these pages here, I'm going to pin them off because I don't like them. My last, these were my dailies. And I do not like them. So I went from Food and Health here, and I didn't like this. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to start making bread, you guys, out of lentils. Lentils. I watched this great recipe, and it's out of lentils. So, but these dailies, I was just putting stickers down, and this one's okay. Let's see if I take that off, how it looks. Do you see? Like, this would have been okay because it's got, let's put this over here. Okay, that can be garbaged. So this was like last week. I didn't complete Saturday and Sunday. I tend to do like 5 days. And then like on the weekend, I'd put this down with you guys. Because I wanted to, hang on a second, line this up. So I had more room for my brain dump. There goes the tape on the floor, of course, because bending over is going to test my flexibility. P.S. Speaking of flexibility, we strongly encourage anybody who doesn't do stretches to do them. And if you haven't started, and you might be, I don't know, in your 60s, just start small. Like, just move, sway, do small stretches. I spent years of my life doing gymnastics, dance, all self-taught, you guys. The only time I wasn't self-taught was when I got to a level in gymnastics where I needed to do a floor routine and a vault routine, and I needed a coach. So I went to the YMCA. There was a lady called Gail Miller, and I was very, very good with children, and I worked very well with Down syndrome children because when I was at my elementary school, I got trained by a teacher there who allowed me to hang out with a girl named Kim. She and I became very good friends. She had a board, much like Stephen Hawking's board or Hawking board. And I helped her use the washroom and everything. So she wasn't completely Down syndrome, but let me tell you, they're the happiest people I've ever known. In fact, my reborn doll collection, I have a little representation of a reborn doll, and I've been asked more and more to open that channel up again because people miss my doll routine, my doll videos, and in those videos, they're nostalgic and they're also about mental health. And I prove in those videos how owning a reborn doll is just another hobby, does not make a person weird or strange or off rocker, off tilt. No more than, I don't know, a mid-40s man having a car collection, or a mid-20s girl having a book collection, or a mid-40s to 50s woman having a planner collection. Hobbies are hobbies, you guys. Like, so I've had a lot of requests to start that up again, and I gave every single reborn that I have a personality, which is, so I'm considering it. And Marcia, this is dedicated to you because, or not Marcia, sorry, Maria. This is dedicated to you because you asked me specifically, and I have a lot of people that I used to do that for. And but I'd have to refamiliarize myself, you see, with the artist of the sculpt and even the personality of the doll. And I'd have to, because they've been wrapped up, you guys. Like, I wrapped them up. So I started my channel in 2022 when I got really, really sick. And I wrapped it up. I pulled the plug on that channel and hadn't done it for a year when I pulled the plug on this one. So a year prior, I hadn't done it. In fact, my last video on there, I said, well, I'm back. Isn't that funny how I say I'm back and then I was not back at all? Okay, so we're talking weekly log, and I did pre-warn you that I may not make sense. So my main objective, that sticky tab still looks good. This one is pure yellow, it still looks good. So I don't like this area here or here, because to do and to buy can clearly go on a sticky tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and of course this is for this week. So it's Thursday, right? And I haven't done anything this week, except write in my daily journal and my morning journal. And what else have I done? I'm trying to think, you guys. It hasn't been much. I've been writing a to-do list, a basic to-do list in my purse. But at the end of the day, it hasn't been much, because when you're not at your best, you don't do your best. Let me finish this story of long COVID. I don't have long COVID. I don't know even what long COVID is. They're saying now that it's a COVID that doesn't ever go away. No, I clearly have double pneumonia. The x-rays proved it. Yes, I had to go in for x-rays at St. Anthony's Clinic. That was yesterday. But they knew it anyway, because they can stethoscope your lungs, right? It's not COPD, thank goodness. My mother had severe and chronic COPD. I do not have COPD. I don't even have, like, any signs of it, so thank God for that, because my mother was on oxygen her final days. Okay, weekly log. We are going to use this Christmas book from 2023. So, all of that for that, you guys. And I did pre-warn you that I wasn't necessarily going to make sense. And I haven't taken anything for my head. And yes, my head is hurting because I am running a fever. So I might have to get up and take something, which I've been told I can. One moment. So thank you guys very much for your care and concern. I know I had a number of people concerned that I should just go into hospital and deal with this there. Well, this is where I'm putting exercise and yoga, because I talked about, you guys, I talked about stretching and movement. Okay, so here, our hospitals don't have areas where you can walk freely without being actually on the street. And there's a lot of homeless on the street, which I have no problem with whatsoever. Let me just count these lines here, you guys. Okay, so I need 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 perfectly. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do the lines again from here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So one will be exercise. Where is my pen? So I'm doing okay, you guys. I am. I guess the problem is that I'm just talking about it too much, and I apologize for that. And maybe I shouldn't talk about this, but sometimes it's hard, you know. Sorry if my arm is in the way. I'm just looking at, so I'd move this up here. I'm just trying to think what color I want to use. Maybe brown. It's November, right? Green or brown. So I'm pretty much an open book. I think mainly that's part and parcel. Unfortunately, why I do what I do, which is talk too much. Talk. I'm just looking up for my favorite pens here, you guys, because I should have had them ready. I have this one. I could use that. In fact, I might. Okay, and then I don't have to dig. I'm sorry, my voice is really low. Too many pencil cases, too many things. Oh, I was telling you about the Stephen Mitchell book. Oh, don't tell me I've lost it again. What is going on here? Seriously, Mel? I swear to you. I swear. I found it. Okay, enough of this. Okay. It was in my purse. This is Rainier Maria Rilke, Letters to a Young Poet, translated and with a foreword by Stephen Mitchell. It's not very big. This one here is Rainier Marie Rilke, Letters to a Young Poet, translated by M.D. Herter Norton. The original translator is Mr. Norton. I prefer Stephen Mitchell's translation because it's far more poetic. For example, let me just find it. You guys, this particular passage, just and mind you, this is easier on the eyes to read than this. You see? But they're both, I think this was $6.99 on Amazon. This was $13. But they changed my life. I found this passage in my 20s, and it catapulted me into a quest of the English language, of these deep thinker minds that were philosophical, theological, like scratching away layers, not conspiracy layers, guys. No. As far as I'm concerned, conspiracy layers just keep people confused and dazed. In fact, I'm sure there's a movie that way. In fact, you want to know the truth? Well, they disclose it. I say they, people in control, use the tell, lie, L-I-E, vision to allow the masses to know and to be programmed, which is why it's called programming. I learned about this a long time ago when I was in my early days of college, and I took certain courses about subliminal messages and stuff like that. You guys have to. My ex-husband used to say, "Oh, Mel, just sit there and take your brain out," but I never could, because I could always see, like, instead of the people acting, I'd look behind them, I'd see the symbolism. And then I read Jung, who talks about symbolism. I also read Freud, who, yeah, I'm not a Freudian. Back to Rilke. So I did highlight some, and I did warn you guys I'd be all over the place here. Okay, chapter 4. Norton translates Rilke's letter to this young poet. So the basis of this book is simple. His name was Rainier Rilke, and he had gone away to a militant type school because his father thought he wasn't tough enough and that he was a bit too effeminate for his liking. So he was sent away to a school that bullied him to toughen him up. And he wrote poetry, which was another X in the mark of his father thinking of Rainier as effeminate. And because his name is Maria, well, you have to understand that back in the day, if you were like Christian, no matter female, male, that was your middle name, Maria. Okay? It was just a homage to the sacrificial Lord and the mother of, you know, Jesus, right? Okay. So I'm going to find the same one here, chapter 4. I don't think I was highlighting in here because I was like being precious with this book. There's 4. I know I marked it because it's right here. Yes, and I am going to find a highlighter somewhere. Somewhere. Sorry about my arm again. Just so I can... This one here is the one that I found. I found Stephen Mitchell's. But you guys can choose for yourself, okay? Now, there was a lady that sent me a direct message with the quote. Like, she was well familiar. And it's like this following. Like, I've been following it for 3 decades. In the back of my mind, this quiet peace. Because Rilke does that. Rilke connected with the spark of life, to which I call God. Okay? Which grounds you. Which gives you peace. Okay? Like, I find, for one, when I pick up, like, the book, any book, that has, like, our Heavenly Father's word in it, like, it's called the book, capital T, capital B, the book, I find a great peace, especially if I pray or hold somebody in your heart, etc. However you do it, whatever you do, as long as you are a good human and you mean well, like, not just temporarily well, but in the long, long term. For example, today, I don't go do something nice because I don't like the word nice. I'll explain that why. Today, I don't go out and do something, say, oh, I don't know, kind, but tomorrow I'm an asshole and I do something unkind. I don't, that's not my long game. My long game is to begin it's to nurture kindness in my own heart and to continue to nurse it and nurture it so that I can spread it, so that it grows and grows. I mean, the Grinch is an example of the television and movies programming us to do this, right? But they pervert it, they contort it, in my personal opinion. Now you guys, you're all grown adults. You can look at me with all my studies, with all my questioning of the indoctrination of the educational system, to which I have literally, like, I've used the sciences, I've used the English language, I've gone back and compared the language translations, I've like done quantum, I've done like geometry, I've done the physics. You can't have physics that apply on a small level and not apply on a large scale. I don't just believe in things anymore. I have to know them. What's the difference? Well, when you believe something, which is simple, from the time you're born, you're told something. And because you believe in that person, you continue to believe in those quote-unquote facts. For me, though, it was never good enough because it never resonated truth. And I'm a truth seeker. So I would go out, use the very facts that I was given in books or in church or whatever, for example, in Sunday school, and I would ask questions, and the nuns would be angry with me for asking the question that they had no answer to and go make me kneel on raw rice. I still have scars, ladies and gentlemen. I still do. Okay? So all of this to say is I don't believe anything. I don't trust anything that I don't know in my heart. And as long as you're a good person in my book that does good deeds in my book, okay, not that I'm here to judge you, I certainly am not. I have to look in the mirror and do that. Judging is not my job to do, but I cannot, like, this will not be your channel. This environment, this safe zone here will not be for you because it'll offend you if you don't believe or at least know, connect, resonate. Because if your truth and my truth align, will resonate. You'll feel that. You have more senses than 5, folks. I know this, right? So I don't mind if my subscribers fall off or I don't look at any of that. I'm on here to speak truth, right? I'm on here to show truth. I'm on here to tell you that I have done so many things wrong, but I know one thing to be absolutely beyond a doubt, not just because I believe in it, because I know it, truth. And that is, you are loved. You are loved. And you are never alone, okay? You are never alone. Like, doesn't that make you feel this warmth? Our culture today is missing something, and that something is hope. And it's because and I hate to say this because maybe you go to a church or a synagogue, or you're fortunate enough to have a wonderful minister, but every church I've ever been into, they judge. And they don't teach, quote unquote, the word of God properly. And they want me to think of it as allegories and stories. And so when I was growing up, I literally thought it was allegories and stories. And then I became an atheist. And then I didn't have a relationship with God. And then I got pregnant with my daughter. I mean, I could get right into this. The whole point of this being, you guys, I know that I am not only just a spiritual being in a meat suit sitting here in a chair, but that I have a point and a purpose. And my point and my purpose is to share that love with every one of you, so you do not feel alone. But I can't lead you there. I can only introduce it. It's like showing somebody a book, okay? Showing somebody a book. So back to this, because I was on a tangent, and I want to apologize, but in this case I won't. Except for this, I've scientifically proven that physics, the stuff that we're taught in school, is wrong. I have scientifically proven it. I have notebooks full of my own education, right? And the problem I find with the educational system today is that they don't encourage independent thinking. You have to get all the way to your PhD to have an independent thought. And even then, you have people that will guide you. And I'm sorry, there's a truck backing up and it's totally distracting me. Okay, now I've been told I'm on the autistic scale and that most people don't think this way, yada, yada, yada. I think that's crap, but that's whatever. I think everybody has something. Oh, that truck's going to drive me nuts. Okay, hang on. Oh, thank God. Okay, so, hang on. Okay, I think that's it. Let me read this to you before I get on any more tangents. So, Mr. Horton here, Norton, writes, Dear Sir, to be patient toward all that is unresolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves like locked rooms, and like books that are written in a very foreign tongue. Do not now seek the answers which cannot be given to you because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answer. Keep that in mind. My favorite is, and I would like to beg you, dear sir, as well as I can, to have patience with everything unresolved in your heart, and to try to love the questions themselves as if they were locked rooms or books written in a very foreign language. Don't search for the answers, which could not be given to you now, because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps then, someday far into the future, you will gradually, without even noticing it, live your way into the answer. Do you see? This book here, again, Letters to a Young Poet by Rainier Maria Rilke, translated and with a foreword by Stephen Mitchell. I never read the foreword, okay? Never. The foreword, in my mind, tells me how I should look at the letters. I don't do it. It might give me a little preamble about, until I read the entire book, I don't go back to the foreword. I'm kind of like Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society that way. This one, same thing. Okay? These books, you guys, if I have 2 books with me, it is the Bible and it is Rilke. There are a lot, like Nietzsche, and there's a lot of writers that go deep. But I don't want to go that deep. You see, if I spend too much time thinking, I'm not doing. And the point is to do. Yes, question everything, but you still got to create. If you're too busy studying, you're not actually living. And so when I realized that, I left the educational system. And I self-taught myself. You know, I literally have almost the equivalent of a master's in English Lit, which, by the way, is a master's because the course they wanted me to finish was the course I already far surpassed, and the dean only kept me in there for everybody else, but that's a longer story. I'm far surpassed because I've taught myself. I research things myself, and I don't go on the internet because the internet can be altered. Back to the weekly log. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so sorry. So in this one here, I'm removing the sleep tracker. This sleep tracker is coming out from this here because we have this sleep one here. So how do I want to do that? Well, we're going to start here at the very bottom. I'm going to put a line. In that line, it's going to be word of the week. And the reason I'm putting ADHD moment is because there's always a moment. Always. Yesterday, the day before yesterday. That's right. Because yesterday I ended up hermetizing, which happens. So Tuesday, well, I had more doctor's appointments yesterday. I'm just trying to think of my day right now, you guys. I apologize. But an event happened to me on Tuesday that brought me home, brought me to tears, brought me to a friend who helped me through it. Again, thank you, sweetheart. You know who you are. And by the way, your stuff is already mailed. My daughter helped me do that because that was another thing. I went to go mail it, and we have these 2 apps you have to fill out. And I was literally at the post office in tears because, like you, I can't handle it. So thankfully, she was at Tim Hortons, like 2 steps away. She came right over because I was crying in front of like 20 people. I didn't care anymore. Like, I break down all over the place. You guys, hormonal imbalance, menopause is just not fun. So I have an ADHD moment all the time. Wait for it. If you haven't got it, it's going to come. So now I'm just going to make 7 lines from here to the bottom of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Except I need a line at the top. Like that. Right? So then there should be 15. And then this one over here should have 7. So 2, 4, 6, and 7, right? I should actually take this off. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then my week is right here. So here to here. And this is the energy here. here. And then I have a space here to here. And I don't know what that one's going to be for. But I'm sure maybe chores, maybe like, did I work towards some, I don't know, you guys. I really don't know. Okay, so this one is done wrong. I did these wrong to you guys. Totally wrong. Unless I move them over. Okay, if I move them over like that, then I have this space here. And then in that space, I can put my routine. That might actually work really well. Okay, there's my weekly log. So I have morning routine, PM routine, mood, and planners. But that's a lot for the log. But here's my daily routine, which is 17 items. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So that could work. So this is, where's a pen? This is daily routine. So this could just remind me as a look-see. Then this is exercise. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I've always been trying to get this one document perfect, or at least as close to perfect. Like, not perfect, I hate that word, because we're all perfectly imperfect. But I need it usable. I need it friendly for my brain. And so everybody has a different kind of ability to look at something and say, okay, that one works for me. And I've used dozens so far. I've been altering these weekly ones forever. So this one here is a mood tracker. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because this is sleep. This is rate week. This is energy. I'm going to say SFS. Severe fatigue syndrome and SAD. Seasonal affective disorder on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 to 10 and 1 to 10. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so A, B, and C. And then this is going to be, so what happened to me this week? I went in to buy into the Women in Need store where I thrift and have donated tons and tons and tons of clothes. Now, without getting into it, I went to purchase some clothes. The Women in Need are the only thrift clothes store that actually wash their clothes, so you pay more. I went in there and I bought some stuff. I went up to this counter. I'd never seen this cashier there before, and I've been there a lot. I said, "Hello, honey, how are you?" She said nothing. She asked very angrily my number because it's a point system. So I gave it to her and I looked at her. I said, "Are you okay, sweetie?" She said nothing. She said, "Confirm your name." So I did. So then she's ringing my stuff through and she's throwing it through they have a plexiglass portion and she's throwing it through to the floor. I asked her for a bag. She's like, "Well, that's 50 cents. And I said, "That's okay." And I said, "Are you okay?" And she says, "You are making me uncomfortable." So I look at her. I'm shocked. I don't think I've ever heard that before, you guys. So I say to her, "I'm sorry. How am I making you uncomfortable?" And she says nothing. I said, I'm partly deaf. I don't know. Did you answer me? I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'd like to apologize if I can. Like, how did I make you uncomfortable? Because my intention is certainly not to do that. She says, "The more you talk to me, the more uncomfortable I get." And then this woman comes up to me and she starts on me. She says, "When somebody tells you they're uncomfortable, they don't have to explain themselves." So I look at her and I said, "Ma'am," I says, "you're completely, absolutely, 100% right. I know this because I served our country, so you have the freedom of speech. And I served this country so that cashier there, who could be the age of my daughter, also have the freedom of speech. And God help that she never has to serve. But I, too, also have the freedom of speech." Well, her friend came up and, get this, called me names I will not repeat on this channel, but she also called me a Karen. And I was very low and calm, and I've seen those videos, you guys. I wish I could have videotaped this. This was nothing like this. And so I said to her friend, I said, "First of all, to all the people with that name, that's very insulting. Second of all, you're name calling me for my asking why I've been accused of making somebody uncomfortable just doesn't make sense to me. And thirdly, like, why are you being cruel? Like, are we in junior high? I don't understand what's happening here." Then their husbands came up to me. I won't even go there, you guys. Basically, I got screamed at. Now, I have severe and chronic PTSD. Part of that is to do with the male treatment. So I was told what the amount was. I tapped my card. I picked up the clothes and the stuff she threw through the portion onto the floor. What she didn't know is I knew Cindy. Cindy is the, I shouldn't have said her name, but she's the head of the Society of the Homeless that the charity goes to. I asked for if there was anybody to talk to. No, there wasn't anybody to talk to. Was there any other person in the store I could talk to? Because it's a big store, you guys, and I know at least 7 people work there at all times. I know this. I've been there a lot. She said no. So I asked for a card for somebody I could talk to. She threw that onto the floor. Now, I have a bad back, so now I'm trying to pick up this stuff off the floor. Nobody was helping me, nothing. Like, I could barely move. And I was fighting tears the whole time. So I get everything in the bag. I thank them kindly because I'm trying to live like Jesus. And you treat people the way you want to be treated, whether or not this is a test or not. I don't know if it's a test, but I turned and I thanked them. I took the card, and then I came into the van. Oh, and the whole point is because I was trying to get my weight back up. I was losing too much weight. So I had ordered a taco at Taco Fino. Well, you think I could eat that taco? I couldn't eat that taco. Because I don't know about you guys, but when you're upset, can you eat anything? So then, I get in my van. I'm fighting tears. I drive home. I pick up the phone. I look at the card. I know that the number she's given me is like a buddy of hers. So I just phone my friend who's in charge. And the minute I get her on the phone, I start talking and poof, I can't stop talking. And I want to get off and I'm just telling her the basics. And I said, I don't want the girl to be like, you know, maybe she's having an off day. I don't know. But like I also tried to donate money there because they do like a donation thing so that people can get socks and underwear and stuff like that. This girl was like, oh, we don't do that. And I'm like, actually, I think you do. Because I've done it like a lot. And I think she was just having an off day and maybe she was new and she didn't know her job. I don't know. But I said to this lady I was on the phone with, who's actually a friend, a good acquaintance. We'll call her a good acquaintance. I said, I don't want her to lose her job. You guys, I'm so sorry, but it just breaks my heart that I had to make that call on a young girl. Well, she wasn't that young. She was about 35, and then to deal with 4 additional people who didn't even know what was going on. And that the point is that this still goes on today. And after I'd already sat here and told you guys, don't let anybody ever let you guys feel less than. And I let somebody do that to me. No, I did that to me. Let me correct that. I did that to me. Because that day I had eggshells out and I let somebody touch them and walk on them. Which is why I go to therapy. So please, nobody go in the comments and say, oh, Mel, I feel so bad for you. Please do not, because I learned something from that. So this part down here, this ADHD moment, is going to be that moment. And then the next one is word of the week. And why is it word of the week? Because, just finding my pen. After all of that, I want to know, after some deep reflection, what I learned from it. Do I think what she did was right? No. Did I have to react? No. Did I? Yes. Do you see where I'm going here, you guys? Do you see? We all have choices. So I'm imperfect. I'm still learning. I'm 53 years old and I am still learning. But the last thing I want ever in my life, being the onion that I am, because the one Disney character I relate to is Shrek. And there's onion. I'm an onion. And there's layers of onion. And at the end of the day, somebody cries, okay? Especially when you're menopausal, especially when you're like hormonal, especially when you have double walking pneumonia, and you're just trying to do something kind. Or so I tell myself. But remember, I'm not trying to be a saint. Far from it. You guys, this is why I point out my flaws to you. I am no saint. Do not put me on a pedestal. I am not a saint. I am just trying to be more like the better person I know I can be. And be the example I wish to lead. Because leadership is at all levels, you guys. And I'm like babbling again, and I apologize, and I need juice, and I'm sorry. Maybe have some coffee? have I been going on and on for? Man, it's been the hour. And all I've done is like draw out like trackers. So there's going to be 15 moods. Anyway, that happened to me on Tuesday, you guys. I shouldn't say happened to me. See, watch your words. That's the other thing too. That's why I like if you think about it, good morning. What else does morning remind you of? We're morning. Say good rising. Good rising, everybody. Because I've caught myself saying that too. I'm not mourning today. I'm celebrating today. Why do we say these horrible things? And then weekend? Like we're weekend on the weekends? No, guys. We're powerful. We should call them bookends. Like, or strengthenings. Or some other thing. I'm going to come up for a word for Saturday and Sunday. Brickends or something. But I'm not going to use the weekends anymore. You know why? Because that means that we are weak. I'm not weak. You're not weak. We're not weak. Remember, folks, we are spiritual beings in a physical containment vessel, which is a meat suit. You know? You are more than what you think. Now, this is my opinion, yes. My opinion. That's my disclaimer. But I know this to be true. For me. And yes, this is coming from the same person that has a reborn doll collection, you guys. So take it as you will. But let me tell you one thing. Those reborn dolls has helped a lot of people. A lot of people. Okay, so I have 18 moods exercise. I only have 1, 2, and then it goes on to habits. So I'm just going to circle those ones and then 1. I'm going to do habits. I don't even know. Maybe I have 2 more. So I'm just going to do 15. But this daily routine is just basically going to remind me, because I get easily distracted and I go on my tangents. As you've heard, yesterday, I said to the doctor, do you know what the word hospital and hell have in common? They both begin with an H and end with an L. Please do not send me there. So I had to get oxygen, which they had to do after hours because normally they don't do it. Normally they'll call an ambulance to your house and the ambulance will do it. So they had to bring the ambulance to the emergency clinic and do it for me. And the only reason they did it is because I'm a vet. The only reason. And I have that paid for because it's extremely expensive, but it's much less expensive than going into the hospital for it, you guys. So hopefully this tracker here for my weekly one will be good. Like if I start Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then up here do like my main like plans. So here is my finances. I can write like, because they're getting like into the Black Friday stuff, and I've been trying so hard not. I need Avery tabs, so that's the one thing. I need more tabs, I noticed. So I have to order those, Avery. And Avery's, like, they just last longer. Avery tabs. And I don't like going into, like, stores and crap because I pick up viruses. This is my trackers. Completely Monique style. Just very simple. Weekly log. And, oh, you guys, I keep dropping stuff. Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to put this book down for a second. I'm a hurting unit, you guys. Okay, so what do we have here? We have, oh gosh, and I don't like looking at these. That's the whole point, right? I was going to pin them up. These ones here. Do I have a pin? Sorry about my arm, guys. There. This is morning pages, so yeah, because this is week 3. This week here, I'm not fond of it. But like I said, I'll come back in a year, I'll look at it. Maybe my mouth will be open and agape. Maybe I'll say it's not important, because probably that's more on the ball. It's not important, right? So this is where I put down that washi because it was really sticky there. So like I'll put a sticker over top. This is the intro to week 3. I got pens everywhere. It's like they blew up. Where? Let's see if you guys can see. Okay, so this, I called this First Thoughts. So I haven't done that yet. Brain dump. Daily intention. This is health log, which is like Peanuts Planner Co. again. This is finances. This is tracker, weekly log. Prayers. I'm going to do another like cross times 2. Work projects. I told you what I want to do. This here is all like Christmas list. List to live by. Calligraphy pens. And then I go into the dailies. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, and then boom, we are on the 4th week of November, and I've already got those down. So that's going to be the end of this video. The next video, we're actually going to do it. We're going to do like me doing my first thoughts with you. We're going to do my brain dump with you, my daily intentions, all the way through. Because I've never done that with you guys. And I want to, instead of like going off on tangents. And in the meantime, I'm going to add Avery tabs to my Amazon cart. And I will be back after this is uploaded and my phone is recharged. And we will continue before my appointment. Always, always appointments. But remember, folks, we are all perfectly imperfect. You are loved, needed, and wanted far, far more than you will ever know. Thank you for everybody who's DM'd me. Sorry if I've gone on too much of a tangent. Again, these are the books. If you're curious, you can screenshot them. And remember, not only are you loved, needed, and wanted far, far more than you will ever know, but somebody somewhere far away is always thinking of you. We are literally at the foot of something very granular and spectacular and special. We are all powerful. We are not insignificant little nothings. Together we are the strongest creatures there is. And all we need is each other, and to believe in that. No matter what, no matter your belief system or what, no matter what. You know, there is nothing somebody can do for me or to me that I can't look at them and say, it's okay. Because I know I'm loved by the highest of the high. Even though it will always hurt deep down. And this is coming from somebody who's been in therapy for 13 years and who doesn't think I should think this way. I'm not so easily convinced because the Bible tells me different. And I'm not here to preach, you guys. Please know that too. We have free will. And if you've made it to the end of this video, I want you to understand this and why I say this and why this is very important. We have free will. It is not up for me to tell you what to believe in. But if you're to watch me on this channel and you want to know who I am that you're watching in this mess, in this, you know, imperfections, in all of my who I am, well, I lay it on the line for you guys. But don't put me on a pedestal, please. I'm not the one. Please don't. I'm just like anybody else. All right? So, hugs, everyone. And I'll be back. All right. Talk to you next time.